Okay, I'm Shohei Asako from the University of Tokyo. I begin my presentation about my research. The title is Investigation on the Mechanism of Brittle Fracture and its Enhancement of Bainitic Steel Manufactured by our forming. This is the content of my presentation. First of all, I'll talk about background and some technical basic knowledge. In recent years, steel structures like ships and pipelines are becoming larger, and their use environment have been becoming very serious. And these trends result in the thicker and stronger steel materials in structures. And this figure shows the transition of material property in structures. And we can say that the steel materials are becoming thicker and stronger year by year. And for the safety, however, there is still a strong demand for stronger steel materials. And considering this background, we focus on the TMCP bainitic steels because of several reasons. First, it is tensile steel. Second, it has also good toughness for brittle fracture. And third, it has been used in various machines, equipment, constructions. Generally, bainitic steels are regarded as a material with low toughness. However, TMCP bainitic steels usually have a good toughness. TMCP means thermomechanical control process. And the steel manufacturing process is mainly divided in two phases. They are chemical combustion control process and manufacturing control process. And TMCP is a technology on the manufacturing control process. And TMCP can control heating, rolling, cooling automatically, successively, accurately. So we can manufacture the tough steels by TMCP. In recent years, there are some researches about the trigger point of brittle fracture. According to these researches, the fracture is likely to occur around MA near the prior austenite boundaries. And this figure is the EPSD pattern of the trigger point of brittle fracture, and this is the prior austenite boundaries. This line is the prior austenite boundaries, and here is the trigger point of the brittle fracture. But there is some question. Can these results be applied to the TMCP bainitic steels? These research experiments were conducted using steels which have a very simple microstructure. But the usual TMCP bainitic steels have a very complex, very fine microstructure. And second, is there any precursor behavior on matrix around MA? And the third, what is the mechanism of high toughness of TMCP bainitic steels? And now I'll explain about three-stage models about the brittle fracture of steel proposed by Martin Mazos in 1994. The first stage is the initiation of microcracks at brittle faces like MA or cementite, and the second stage is the propagation to the boundary area between brittle face and bainitic ferrite. And the last third stage is the propagation over the boundary area, and this propagation leads to the fracture of structures. And this model is now widely used, but the effect of the shape of MA or the relationships between MA and bainitic ferrite remain unclear. So this is a short summary about the background. TMCP steels have become important for various constructions, and usual investigation on the micromechanisms of fracture have been conducted by observing the specimens after loading of a fracture. So in this research, we use practical bainitic steels manufactured by TMCP, and using the specially designed mining specimens, we investigate the micromechanisms of brittle fracture by in situ observation. Next, the method and observation. And this table shows the chemical composition of the specimens. And we queried such a columnar specimen and gave it this thermal history and 75% compression, targeting the practical TMCP bainitic microstructures. And this is a microstructure of specimen on cross section. And this is the microstructure of usual TMCP bainitic steel of X80. And both of them have flat priaustenite boundaries, and their microstructures are resembled to each other. And then we took EBSD patterns about the specimens on two sections, cross sections and Z section. And then we measured the effective grain size distribution on the cross section. We regarded each adjacent grain as same grain when their mix orientation is within 15 degrees. And this cross-section EBSD pattern shows flat microstructure, and doesn't have poor eutectoid ferrite. And these each grains were consisted of small groups of grains which have very near orientation. So we can regard this as bainite ferrite. Bainite steel. And then I conducted 3-point bending test, as shown in these figures, and minus 196 degrees. And then after brittle fracture, I observed the fracture surfaces and searched the trigger point of brittle fracture, and measure the fracture facet. In this figure, we can regard the fracture facet as this area. And then measure the fracture facet diameter about two specimens. We conducted two experiments, and comparing with effective grain size, the fracture facet diameter is relatively larger than effective grain size diameter. So we can say that the brittle fracture is likely to occur near the large grain, and in situ observation target is MA around large grains. Okay, then we designed special compression test specimens like this. And here, the top surfaces of this specimen is polished and will be observed. And we can add compression. We can add compression loading by this jig. And we can add 300 micrometer compression per revolution of this screw. This specimen have a very good characteristics for in situ observation of brittle fracture. Because, as shown in this figure, by compressing the top area of the specimen, exhibits the highest principal stress. So, using this specimen, we can observe the prior phenomenon of brittle fracture that occurs at the surface area by adding gradual compression. And this figure shows a relationship between maximum principal stress and equivalent plastic strain at peak stress point. Original tensile test shows very high equivalent plastic strain. So the brittle fracture doesn't occur in this test. On the other hand, CTOD or three-point bending test shows very high principal stress before plastic strain. And so brittle fracture is easy to occur, but we can't observe the trigger point of brittle fracture directly and in situ because the trigger point is at the front area of this notch, so we can't observe there. On the other hand, this special design developed specimen shows the balance between principal stress and equivalent plastic strain, and the maximum principal stress area is the top surface area, so we can observe the trigger point of brittle fracture very easily. And this is this figure shows the in situ observation figure by SEM. Before loading, there are not micro cracks, of course, but after loading, there are many micro cracks, and the number of micro cracks increased by the level of compression, and many of the micro cracks were the defolding micro cracks with MA and the bainitic ferrite. And the last conclusion. First, I established minute experimental system for the practical bainitic steels. Second, results of three-point bending test indicate that MA around the gross grain is likely to become the trigger of fracture. Third, results of special compression test indicate that defolding microcracks between MA and bainitic ferrite were the main mode of microcracks. Thank you for your kind attention.